Happy International Disaster Risk Reduction Day.
The Honourable Minister for Infrastructure and Meteorological Services, Lands and Mineral Resources, the Honourable Choneo Sumati. I do acknowledge the presence of the two permanent secretaries, Rural Development and Disaster Management, and also the permanent secretary for Infrastructure and Meteorological Services, senior government officials, friends of NDMO and Infrastructure and Met Services, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and thank you for this opportunity to address you all today. Today marks two very important events on our annual calendar. Firstly, I am delighted to join the many others working in the global disaster sphere in commemorating the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction. As we journey into the start of the 2021-2022 cyclone season, I am also excited to officially launch our National Disaster Awareness Media Campaign. We are joined today by the Honourable Choneo Sumati and his Permanent Secretary and senior officials from the Ministry of Infrastructure and Met Services, who will also be officially releasing the much anticipated 2021-2022 seasonal outlook. The International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction is a day to promote a global culture of disaster risk reduction. The recent Asia Pacific Disaster Report of 2021, published by the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, UNESCOP, states that between 1970 and 2020, natural hazards in Asia and the Pacific affected 6.9 billion people and killed more than 2 million. This is equivalent to 41,373 lives lost per year. Despite these statistics, the report noted that there have been substantial progress from 2011 to 2020, as the average loss of life per year fell to 10,936, and in 2019 and 20, the average annual loss fell to around 6,200 lives. The analysis made by UNESCO, based on data available, concluded that the Asia-Pacific riskscape has been reshaped by climate change. The years 2015 to 2019 were reported as the warmest 5-year period on record, being 0.2 degrees warmer than the previous 5-year period. This affected both extreme weather events such as cyclones and slow onset disasters such as droughts, while also accelerating the rise in sea levels. There is no secret that climate change also affects health. Recent decades have seen an increase in the risk of climate-related diseases leading to illness and death. These diseases include malaria and dengue. Rising temperatures can reduce incubation period for mosquitoes and facilitate the transmission of the disease. Between the 1990s and 2010, the average number of dengue cases per year increased from 200,000 to over 500,000. For malaria, on the other hand, the total number of confirmed cases has gradually decreased since 2000. However, in the Pacific, the numbers have been rising from less than 200,000 per year in the early 2000s to over 500,000 in 2016 and 2017. The current global pandemic of COVID-19 has definitely brought another dimension to biological hazard management, as of 6 June 2021, countries in the Asia-Pacific region had reported 49 million confirmed COVID-19 cases and more than 748,000 deaths. The overlaps between multiple hazards are likely to intensify as a result of climate change. Overlapping hazards, along with the interconnectedness of economies at different scales, are creating systemic risks that demand more sustained and rigorous approaches. These are emerging issues that require a shift in disaster risk reduction and designing of strategies by countries across the globe and the Asia-Pacific region. Ladies and gentlemen, while fewer people have died from natural disasters through early warning and responsive protection, there is still room for improvement, particularly for managing multiple overlapping crises. The pandemic, combined with the real threat of climate change, has had to make us rethink our strategy towards development. Fiji cannot make progress as a country if everything we build is wiped away every time a disaster strikes. Here at home, Fijians are no strangers to disasters. We have lived through some of the worst experiences, but as resilient people, these events have not only taught us new lessons, but have made us equally as strong. This was evident in how we bounced back after the unfortunate events of severe tropical cyclone Winston in 2016. Between 2016 and 2019 alone, Fiji was impacted by at least one cyclone a year. However, from 2017, the frequency of cyclonic events increased on average to 3 cyclones per season. During this period, 3 superstorms have affected Fiji. These are tropical cyclones Winston, Harold, and Yasa in 2020. Whilst COVID-19 is a new biological hazard in Fiji, the country has also faced outbreaks of other climate-related ones such as leptospirosis, typhoid diarrhea, and dengue, more commonly known as LTDD. We also cannot free our people from the multiple social problems faced globally today if our people here at home continue to live under constant threat from devastating disasters. And to help steer us to remain on course, we need to start building resilience, not only in our people, but in all future developments. The Fijian government's adoption of the National Disaster Risk Reduction Policy speaks volumes about our commitment that we no longer view disaster risk reduction as just an humanitarian issue, but a development one. In aligning to these development aspirations, government had been closely engaging with its partners to support us toward our shift towards a new paradigm of development. Subsequently, our resilience has been strengthened through this international cooperation and assistance from partners. As we reflect today on the theme of the year's International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction, only together, I wish to once again acknowledge all international support rendered by our partners, especially towards the DRR space. As a developing country facing specific challenges, Fiji needs special attention and support to augment domestic resources and capabilities to manage disaster risk, and the Fijian government is thankful for this continued support. International cooperation has never been more important now than ever before with COVID-19. COVID-19 has made it clear that nobody is safe until we are all safe. And the international support for DRR is more than just a moral obligation, but an essential requirement to build resilience of our international community and planet together. The delivery and distribution of vaccines to our shores has helped us fight the worst public health emergency for this century, proving that only together we can overcome the worst. As we commemorate the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction, I encourage communities, families, and individuals to do the necessary. Preparedness starts at home. If we can prepare as a family, we can withstand our worst as a nation. Today also marks the launch of the National Disaster Awareness Media Campaign. As Fiji slowly eases out of COVID-19 restrictions, the Fijian government, through the National Disaster Management Office, is launching its media campaign to not only assist us in accelerating awareness on disaster preparedness and the issue of LTDD, we also intend to use this opportunity to increase awareness around dealing with COVID-19 in the context of disasters. At no time like the present has the media proven its importance. While COVID-19 pandemic has restricted gatherings and travel, mass media has allowed us to reach those near and far in keeping us connected. I thank the members of the media in effectively playing their role in disseminating messages on disaster preparedness and disaster risk reduction. Your role in providing the right message at the right time has helped save lives and protect properties through early warnings. Your instantaneous outreach plays a vital role in educating the individual and communities about disasters, in gathering and transmitting information about affected areas. Through our media campaign, which ran from October 2021 to April 2022, you can expect to see preparedness, response, and recovery messaging, all in an effort to reinforce a culture of risk resilience so that ultimately lives and properties are saved during disasters. You can expect to view messages, videos, and stories on best practices of disaster preparedness, and even listen into DRR webinars planned for the National Disaster Awareness Week from the 19th of October. We want you to be prepared, and we are going to exhaust all media avenues possible to ensure that even our remotest communities are reached. Before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to urge you all to closely follow the NDMO social media platforms for more information about how to prepare your families and households better ahead of the new cyclone season. To our friends in the media, I wish to again reiterate that there is no better time, that we should be engaging more collaboratively than we are right now. It is now back to business for us. We may always have differing opinions when reporting about disasters, but these must never stop you from getting people the information they need before, during, and after a disaster. Thank you. God bless Fiji.
Good morning, all. The Minister for Defense, National Security and Policing, Rural and Maritime Development and Disaster Management, the Honorable Inesir Ratu, two permanent secretaries, directors, Commissioner Easton, members of the press, and the Director NDMO. It's a pleasure for me to be here this morning to be part of this launch as we approach the cyclone season. So, Mbula Vinaka, and a very good morning to you all. As I said, I'm glad to be here today to join my fellow minister in the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction and National Disaster Awareness Media Campaign launch. As you are aware, Fiji's cyclone season begins from the 1st of November, just a few days from today, and it goes all the way to the 30th of April 2022. As Minister responsible for meteorological services, I am here to announce the prediction of tropical cyclone activities during the 2021-2022 tropical cyclone season. The Regional Specialized Meteorological Center, that is often referred to as the RSMC, the Nandi region, covers the area from equator to 20 degrees south, 160 degrees east to 120 degrees west. This region consists of the following countries: the Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, Nauru, Kiribati, Tuvalu, Tokelau, Samoa, Tonga, Niue, and the Cook Islands. Having said that, the RSMC Nandi region anticipates the following. Number one, in total, 4 to 6 tropical cyclones are likely to affect the RSMC Nandi region between November 21 to April 2022. That is covering all of those countries that I've just mentioned. Number two, on average, 7 cyclones affect the RSMC Nandi region every cyclone season. Thus, our 2021 to 2022 cyclone season is predicted to have an average to below average number of cyclones. 3. For severe cyclones, category 3 or above, we anticipate 1 to 3 severe tropical cyclones this season in this region. And 4. On average, 3 severe tropical cyclones affect RSMC Nandi region every season. Therefore, our 2021 to 2022 season is predicted to have average to below average number of severe cyclones. That was for the RSMC region, covering all of those countries. Now for Fiji's region, in our exclusive economic zone, we expect the following. Number one, in total, 1 to 3 tropical cyclones are likely to pass through Fiji's exclusive economic zone this season. Secondly, similarly, 1 or 2 severe tropical cyclones, that's category 3 or above, are likely to affect Fiji during the 2021-2022 cyclone season. At this juncture, I would like to stress the importance of using this early warning information to prepare, plan, and make good decisions prior to the cyclone season at all levels, be it the community, the private sector, non-governmental organizations, government agencies, and disaster managers. All of us have to prepare for this. So, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I'm convinced that with the 2021-2022 tropical cyclone seasonal outlook, we can all work together, working together with NDMO, and my ministry has been very glad to be able to do this. I think there's been very good cooperation between the permanent secretaries and the 2 directors working together so we can make sure that we have disaster reduction at all levels in Fiji. Be prepared and stay safe during the 2021-2022 cyclone season. Now, by level, thank you.